Welcome. My name is Matt Cohen, and I'm the visionary and president for Replenex. Replenex is an 80-year-old industrial supply company that was founded by my grandfather and great-grandfather in 1946. This video is part of a series that we are producing to recognize our 80-year history of providing reliable supply chains to manufacturers throughout North America. My name is Matt Cohen, and I am the president and visionary of Replenex, our family's fourth-generation industrial supply company. With me today is Don Considine, our head of sales, and Kent Anzaldi, our strategic account specialist for the 3M product line, as well as one of my favorite 3Mers, Renee Ricciotti.
Thank you, Replenex, for having me here today celebrating the 80-year anniversary. My name is Renee Ricciotti. I'm the channel leader for 3M Safety and Industrial Business.
One of the reasons, though, I'm really excited to have 3M here is because 3M was one of the last key lines, if we talk about really strategic lines for Replenex to have. 3M was one of those last strategic lines that we added, and I think that was in 2004. And the opportunities that have come to Replenex by working with 3M and our customers really has been a little bit of kind of a fairy tale story, where we started with a limited opportunity for distribution, and based on investments that 3M has made into the partnership and that 3M makes in its own business to develop best-in-class technologies to support our customers, we've really been in a position where we've experienced some significant growth over the 20-plus years of our partnership, materially because of the investments that you make. And Kent, I think, is one of those big investments that back in 2008, you guys decided to make an investment in the channel, in the distributors who you work with, to have, Kent, what was the original title? Do you remember?
Certified Specialist.
Certified Specialist. Now a Strategic Account Specialist. Renee, you and Kent want to talk a little bit about what that role is and how it brings value to the customers through Replenex?
Absolutely. So, Matt, you've already identified the investment piece, right? So, and again, 3M can't do it ourselves, and that's why we have strategic partners in Replenex. But we realize that we need that champion within the organization because it's all about your key customers, which is the end user, the person, the company that is using the product, right? So we invest in that strategic account specialist with training, with product, with access to tech service. That is what Kent is for Replenex, for your end user customer. So they don't have to wait for a 3M person to be available because Kent's got all the training, all the tools, and all the 3M access.
What I really appreciate about that is that it is a very customer-centric approach. And while over the course of time, there's sometimes questions have arisen within the 3M organization around why are we doing this? The value proposition that you just articulated, the opportunity for Kent to be trained as if he were a 3M rep and to be able to go into the field, and while 3M has a divisional sales model today, Kent is cross-division.
Correct.
Kent, do you want to talk a little bit about the training and the investment in the training and how you bring that to market to benefit the customers?
So the best way to can describe my role, I also work independently of our sales force in the field with new customers, existing customers, basically helping them to operate better, solving problems, and just streamlining the whole manufacturing process for the lowest total cost of ownership in what they're trying to accomplish.
Renee, Kent's 17 years of being a certified specialist, or an SAS as we now call them, that has to put him, what, longest tenured SAS?
He is the longest tenured SAS, and I have personally been involved with the sessions with Kent, and he is such a mentor, such a coach, to the other strategic account specialists, because you mentioned it earlier, Matt, customer facing,
Right.
customer centric. We know that a lot of businesses are going to chat or 100% self-serve,
Right.
and we actually are investing in 3M reps, but also Kent is the extension of 3M. And to have him at the customer, at their facility, at their production line, to be able to provide all the training and knowledge, that is what the investment truly is. It's not calling it chatbot. You are getting Kent right there on the line for the customer.
You know, someone once told me that this is a belly-to-belly selling world, and arguably that was their way of saying it's still a face-to-face business.
It is still face-to-face.
And while there are huge investments that 3M and other global manufacturers and even Replenex as a distributor are making in generative AI and technology, there is that piece about seeing the application at the customer, understanding the toolbox of, and in Kent's case, it's the adhesives, the personal safety products, as well as the abrasives, which we'll talk about in a few minutes here. And that universe of toolbox opportunities to drive value at the customer. And I know on behalf of Don and I, we're really appreciative of the investment. And actually, this year, 3M increased its investment. No, it didn't come with a pay raise for Kent, but it came with Don and I have the opportunity now to have a second SAS. The Replenex organization and customer base has the opportunity to give Kent and our customers a second SAS. Kent to train, to impart his wisdom. We know Kent's not going anywhere anytime soon, but that opportunity to capitalize on 17 years of selling 3M products, being trained as if he were a 3M employee, and bringing that value to the next generation of SASs, it's huge.
Renee, the SAS program is not the only investment 3M has made in the channel this year. Can you talk about new product launch and what that looks like this coming year?
Yeah, thanks, Don. So Bill Brown, our CEO, and we just had our investor call last week. We are committed to 350 new product launches this year in 2026. So 3M is back. I have 32 years with 3M, and we are very proud of that funnel of new product launches. And to sit here to share with you, but it's really about the end user. We're going to bring a new technology, new innovation, make their jobs safer and easier, and that's with 350 just in 2026.
300. Is it just me, or does that feel like it's a staggering number?
It's still a lot, and to be first to market is critical, and make real change and a real impact on production and improving our customers' products. Led by you, of course. That's big.
And it's voice of customer of the end user that we work very closely with Kent and Zach.
Right.
They capture the voice of the end user so that we can bring it to the lab. And Kent's been a real part of those meetings, again, capturing the voice of customer so that our new product launches aren't to make it easier for the channel partner, which you are, but how does it make it easier and safer, cost effective for the end user?
And in a market where price is going up everywhere, it's nice to bring in a new way of doing things and showing people a different way to do stuff.
And challenge us, as you do as a manufacturer. The end user needs to challenge the manufacturer, in this case 3M, that we are providing those cost savings. We've got a lot of tools and work very closely with Kent and Zach to make sure we capture and maximize on those tools.
Do you and Kent want to talk a little bit about the latest products in the abrasive sector that we're looking to bring value to customers with?
Yes, thank you. Who would have thought? So we mentioned celebrating 80 years. 3M is 124 years old. Well, what does that mean? Abrasives is 124 years old because we're a Minnesota mining manufacturer. You just mentioned the history.
My dad still calls it that, by the way.
It's amazing, right?
He says, what's new with Minnesota mining?
Right.
That he doesn't even do the manufacturing piece, but that's...
Because the stock exchange at one time, our symbol was MMM, right?
Right.
Minnesota Mining Manufacturing. So, Abrasives is 124 years old. Why would we be talking about new technology, new innovation in abrasives? I mentioned 32 years. I've been selling abrasives or part of abrasives for 32 years, and I'm very surprised we're here talking about a new product. But again, we need, as 3M, working with Replenex, getting the best product, the best innovation in the hands of the end user. So we have Cubitron 3. So there's been many versions, so now we're on the third version. Why did we need the third version? Because it's all about the shape.
Right.
It's all about the shape of the grain.
The micrograin.
You got it. And I'm not a scientist. I'm not technical, so I'm not going to even begin to
that's
get.
Kent's area of
That's Kent's
expertise.
area. So
Kent, tell us about Cubitron 3.
So what's unique about Cubitron 3, it's the shape of the mineral. It's precisely shaped. Every mineral is exactly the same. What that does is it allows the mineral to be sharp, and it cuts much faster because it's sharp.
So we have to give you that consistent cut.
Right.
Because we have to, again, make it easier for the production person to do their job, but for the owner or the plant manager, we have to have a cost saving, right? So it's about speed. And what's interesting about, not only are we talking about a grain that you would think a flap disc or even a DA 5-inch sandpaper, but it's also in our Scotch-Brite products.
Oh,
The
wow, I didn't
hand
know
pads.
you've done that.
Correct. So we've incorporated that technology, Cubitron 3, new technology, into the other platforms. Again, faster, stronger, and cost saving. So we've got...
Speed finish and it lasts longer.
Correct. And so depending on who we're talking to, we have value using the tools to be able to provide that, because it's not one thing to have 3M say it, and believe me just because I'm saying it, but we actually are going to use the end user's data, place it into our tool, and then have a documented cost savings for, again, that plant manager, Don for you, for Kent, for Zach, and
So, is that
ultimately for you, Matt.
so that's the ValueMax tool,
That is the
right?
ValueMax tool.
New shaped grain, like a shark tooth, combined with the ValueMax tool, two huge investments that 3M has made to continue to deliver value to the end user. My grandfather used to come in and say, how can we help you? That was his opening for how do we provide value. And at a point in time where everything is so much more expensive, and just the general manufacturing process is more expensive, what a wonderful thing for this 120-year-old company partnering with a 180-year-old, an 80-year-old company to bring value to the end user. The outcome is that all of these investments that 3M has made is giving the customers a greater opportunity to competitively manufacture the products that they need to manufacture to bring to market for domestic manufacturing. I just think that is, if that doesn't speak to 3M and the power of 3M as a global manufacturer and its ability to invest in the end user markets to drive production, I don't know what else does.
And I'd also like to add is that our manufacturing facilities are located here in the U.S. So for abrasives is what we're talking about. Over 90% of our manufacture is here located throughout the United States.
I remember that. I remember when you first opened the production facility in northern Minnesota. So Renee, it's been a pleasure to have you here today, and what I'm really excited about is to announce that in partnership with 3M, and because of Replenex's 80th anniversary, if people want to learn more about the Cubitron 3 and ValueMax and participate, there is a special promotion that can be found at replenex.com/Replenex80 to learn more about how Replenex is partnering with 3M to bring value to the customers in the supply chain. Renee, thank you again. It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.